Hi, everybody. And if I get this out today, happy Halloween. If you're watching this later, if I put it out later, I'm very sorry. But once again, happy Halloween. We are back uh, and we are reviewing the Once Upon a Book Club September box. Yes, September 2024. Uh, as you guys know, I try to read the book so that way I can give you an idea what it's about and tell you guys everything that's in it, as well as their books come a little late. So September, I got it around September the 28th, I believe. And it gave me time to read it and really go through it. Also, if you guys watched my video before, you know there's been a lot of crazy things going on in my life. So I had to actually make the time. So the fact that it took me this long to actually get through the book has nothing to do with the book itself. It's just what's going on in my life. So let's get to the book and everything that's in it. So once again, I'm gonna go through everything that came in the book, and then I'll talk about the book itself. So the book for September is The Lightning Bottles by Marissa Stapley. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Stapley? Hope I'm pronouncing that right. So this was the book. When you got the book, you got the specialty book just for the Once Upon a Book Club members. It had the nice end pages, interesting cover, and of course you got the hardback version that has all the interesting drawing inside. Woo. And the nice foil. Thought that was pretty cool. So the book itself. Then you got your sticker. So the people who got the water bottle or the scroll type of thing where you can put your stickers on, you got the sticker for that. You got your nameplate. A little how do you do from the author. And once you read the book, all these little drawings will make a lot more sense. But it's actually very cool. The fact that they made it look very handwritten. I love that. And then you have, of course, your bookmark, a specialty bookmark. And you have the little guidebook that has an interview with the author. So you get some questions, and then you got discussion questions for the Facebook group for this, as well as a recipe for chocolate eclairs. I promise, don't worry about pausing this. I will scan it and I will post it in the comments below. So that way you guys can just download it and have the actual recipe for yourself. Very cool. So as you were flipping through the book, as you guys saw, this thing came out. I was trying to hold it so I remember which page it was on. But I believe it's around page number 80 as you're reading through the book. It gives you a picture of the graffiti that they're talking about. I'll talk more about it when we get there, but a graffiti on the wall, which has a little message on it. I was actually, when I was reading the book and I was going through this little message, I actually started scanning and getting to know it. And it's actually pretty cool how this relates to the book. But this is a piece of graffiti art that they talk about in the book. And so you get this, I think it's around 89, 88, somewhere around there. You get this little photograph of the graffiti that they're talking about. Your next gift comes on page 90, page 91. Jane Pryor is having some issues with her boyfriend and his bandmates, so she decides to get away from all of it, go into another room, put on her headphones, and listen to some L7. So with that gift, you get wireless headphones. So let's open this up. I'm always bad at boxes like this with a little tab. I don't know what it is about me. So you get the wireless headphones with a charging cable for a USB port. I think everybody now has some type of USB port they can charge these into now. So, and the design on the wireless headphones. Now it says here that it takes about 2 hours to charge, and the playback time is 6 hours, and standby time is 18 hours. So that to me, that's enough time to do what you need to do. And then it gives you instructions on the back of the box about how to pair it and things of that information. Now, if you looked in the box, for all those who got the box, make sure you look inside the box because it has a QR code here for Spotify for the band L7. Now, I'm going to be honest, when I was reading it, the book, I'm not big on rock music. I know a couple of bands like Evanescence, Freddie Mercury, Queen. I know, you know, Linkin Park. Like I know a couple of rock bands, but I'm not heavy into it. I know there are people who are like, if you say certain people, they'll roll their eyes and go, "That's not real rock music." You know, they know all the indie bands. So when I heard L7, I thought it was a volume on the headphones. I'm so sorry. I really thought it was a volume on headphones. I did not know it was a band. However, when I scanned this and I listened to the band, I actually liked them a lot. So L7 is a really dope band. If you get a chance, look them up on Spotify and play them for yourself and kind of get into it. It's kind of like your gateway into rock and roll. So make sure if you actually got the September box that you pull this out and listen to a little L7. Now, me personally, I do own wireless headphones. I own some Beat by Dre's. However, I am nervous to travel with them because I'm always afraid I'm going to lose them, and to lose headphones that expensive is just too much. It's too much and it's so annoying. I know that for a fact because recently my dad dropped his Beat by Dre's down a drain, and he actually took the manhole cover off and went into the drain and got his headphones. Like legit, the man went into the drain and got his Beat by Dre headphones. And I was like, Dad, why would you do that? He said, one, they're expensive. And two, I didn't even get a chance to use them yet. Like he never even got a chance to use the headphones yet. And they went into the drain. So I had to find the photo. This is my dad in the drain. So yeah, so that's the manhole. He actually went down in the manhole to get his Beat by Dre headphones. So headphones are not a game. Please understand. So the fact that these will probably end up being my travel headphones, and that way if I lose them, I won't be angry because they're a pair of free headphones. I'm not really going to be mad about it. And also when my niece and my nephews come over, if they want to play around or they forgot their own Bluetooth headphones, I can let them borrow these. I won't let them borrow my Beat by Dre's. They will borrow these headphones and play with those. Okay, let's be honest. Now, I will try to find really good dupes below. I'll try to find really good dupes for these and add them in a link below. Please understand that I am an Amazon affiliate. So if you click on my link and then you purchase something, I will get 1 to 10% depending on what you buy. I have to say that because of FTC regulations. So once again, Amazon affiliate here. So on page 91, you got wireless headphones with the Spotify link for L7. Now, the next gift was on page 192. Jane is about to go on stage and sing or play the guitar while her boyfriend sings, and she's a little bit nervous because people aren't reacting so nice to her because they expect her to like be smiley and giggly and all the stuff. She's like, no, I'm an artist. I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna be serious about my music and you're going to respect me. So she's dealing with all this negativity from other people about how she should be pretty much more ladylike. Whatever. So you see her dealing with that. And so what she does is she reaches into her boyfriend, his name Elijah, and she got a makeup bag and some makeup from his mom named Alice. And she ends up going into the makeup bag and pulling out this lipstick that she calls her armor, because it's like this reddish purplish lipstick that no matter what's going on, as soon as she puts it on, she feels fierce. She feels fierce. So with that, you get the makeup bag, which is a nice cloth material, so you can actually put it in the washing machine and wash it. And then it's lined in the inside with pink. And then if you looked on the inside, it actually came with lipstick Came with liquid lipstick, and it says wear your armor. And I believe this is a red color. It says twist off the top of the microphone to open. This gorgeous maroon purple color will give you the confidence every day. Yes. So it comes in a little microphone, and it's liquid lipstick. You know what? I'm actually rocking this. Now, I did find this exact one on Amazon. So, and I believe this color is the red version. There is a pink version. I'm going to link the red, and so that way you guys can select the pink if you feel like this is too dark for you. I understand that on certain skin tones, this may be just a little bit too dark. For me, it works because of my skin tone. And I usually don't go for mattes, but now that I'm actually seeing it, I actually like it. You know what? This actually rocks on me. I'm gonna start actually. This is my jam. I gotta give them credit for not knowing people's skin tones and just throwing something in here. I'm usually kind of off put by that because it's usually some like pink that I can't wear. But I'm actually rocking this, and I typically don't wear mattes, but this actually works for me. And if I did have an issue with the matte, I would have put some gloss over it. This is my favorite gloss. But I would have put this on top of it. And then that way it would have shined a little bit more. But I could actually rock this. Good job, you guys. Really good job. Like I said, I found this exact one on Amazon. I will go ahead. I will link it below. It comes in red and it comes in a pink. So if this red right here isn't your jam, click on the pink. Get the pink version. And I found a really, really good dupe for this bag to the point where I honestly think it's this bag. But I'm going to say dupe because I don't know for sure if it's actually this bag. Because they give you things, but there's no labels. So I think I got a really good dupe with this bag. So the third gift, the final gift, came on page 269. One of the characters is walking along the beach and finds a message in a bottle. So what you get is the bottle. There is a message inside. I'm not going to read it simply because it will give you too much information on the book. I want you to read the book for yourself and learn how this fits in. But the actual message that's on the beach in the side of the bottle is inside here. And this is actually a bud vase. I haven't been able to find something yet close enough to it. Everything that I found was like in a group of 6. You ever go to search for something and it comes back super aggressive results. Like I just wanted a single bud vase with a bluish green tint, and everything I came back was like, here's a set of 25. I'm like, dude, I just want one. Calm down. Don't be so aggressive. Relax. We're all here. Just calm down. So I'm going to keep researching to find this. Hopefully I can find a dupe that's just one. If not, I think the smallest set was a set of 6. So I'll keep looking. I'll keep looking on Walmart and Target because I'm affiliates for them too. And I'll try my best to find something that's just one. If I can't find something in this color that's just one, what I'll do is I'll find something that's in another color that's singular. And I'll try my best to find one. If not, I'll try to find this exact color or something close to this color in the least volume possible. And I found one that was singular, but it was like really fat. It was like really like this big compared to this one. So I'll try my best to find this dupe. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, I'll find the dupe. I'll either find less than 6 or a different color that's one, or something that's a little bit fatter. I'll figure it out. I'll get a close enough dupe for you guys. But like I said, that came in page 269. So let's get to the book. The book is about, it starts off talking about a young woman by the name of Hen. Hen is listening to the radio, and the radio station is talking about her favorite artist. It is a rock duo called the Lightning Bottles. Had to make myself not call them the lightning bolts so hard. But they are called the lightning bottles. It is a married couple named Elijah Hart and James Pryor. I believe it's pronounced Pryor, Pyre. And she's listening to the radio station play their music because about 5 years ago, Elijah Hart disappeared. He rowed his boat into water, and they never found his remains, and he was declared dead. And fans connected with this group so much. They were so in love with them, and so the radio station's playing, and she's drumming along, but she has a secret that no one knows about. The secret is that she went to their last concert, and she saw them arguing the lightning bottles, and she saw the female of the group, Jane, throw something in the trash can. When no one was looking, she went and she grabbed it and she pulled it out, and it was a comic strip. And in that comic strip, it was called the story of Adam and Rib, where Adam was Elijah and Rib was Jane. Well, she noticed one day that she saw a similar comic strip on the side of a building. And this was days after this happened. This was after Elijah had passed away. And so now she's wondering, is Elijah still alive? And is he leaving these comic strips for Jane? So when the radio station is talking about this couple, when this band, and how much they meant for the fans, she goes to call in to tell them about it, but she chickens out and she can't talk about it. And she hangs the phone. So she goes back to just drumming on her plastic containers and jamming out to their music when she sees somebody moves into the house next door. Now it takes her back for a second because she's like, no, this can't be for real. Is that Jane about to move in next door to me? And so then the book starts, because that's just the prologue. And then from that point on, it's from Jane's perspective. Jane is moving in. She calls their manager and she's like, hey, I just want to get away from the world. I'm so tired of people talking to me about Elijah. And they blame her for all Elijah's problems. Of course they do. Because whenever something happens in the group, they always blame the female, the wife, whatever. Females get the blame when something happens bad in the band. Just the way it is. And she's still in grieving and mourning because despite what people think, she actually loved Elijah. Very much so. So one day she gets a knock on her door and it's Hen wanting to ask questions. She's just like, no, like, please leave me alone. I'm depressed. I'm sad. This is the anniversary of my husband's passing. I just want to be left alone. And so Hen gets mad at her and screams at her like, hey, you're the reason he died. You gave up on him, blah, 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 blah. And she leaves behind the comic strip of Adam and Rib. Jane finally opens up and she reads and she's like, I remember this comic strip. How did you get it? Hen explains to her finally what happened and that she found another comic strip on the side of a building. They go to investigate it and look at it together. And that's when Jane realizes that, hey, this had to be done after he disappeared. And the only person that knew about Adam and Rib was me and him. So maybe he is alive. You know, maybe he's out there somewhere. I want to find him. And as the book goes on and she's searching for different comic strips, because in this one comic strip they found on the side of the building, there's clues and hints to other comic strips on other buildings. And so they're traveling together trying to find like the scavenger hunt. And before you get to the next comic strip, you go back into Jane and Elijah meeting. Because of course it's the early 90s. Where did they meet? A chat room. Because she was in Canada, he was in Seattle. And so they were chatting in a chat room about rock music. And they realized they had a lot of the same interests. And she grew up in a very repressive household with a mom who was super religious, wouldn't let her listen to music, had the pastor come and pray about her a bunch of times, and she was just done. She's like, no, I can't do this. I want to be a rock star. There's this guy who's been chatting me up. He's a great singer. I send him my music. He sings it. He sends it back to me. And they're going back and forth. So eventually she runs out to go meet him. and she meets his other band members. Of course, the main singer of the group, because at that time Elijah wasn't singing, he was just playing music. At that time, the main singer of the group did not like her, hated her guts, didn't want her around, and said that she was an issue in the band. Uh, and as they developed their sound together as a duo, you sort of see how they become not only rock stars, but then they become infamous. And next thing you know, there are lawsuits and bad press, and everybody's blaming Jane, and then they kind of fall into addiction. And this book kind of just goes down that path of you seeing artists go through where they just spiral up so fast and then they come down even faster. Like I was reading this and I was thinking about Amy Winehouse the whole time of you seeing her spiral up and up, and you had this genius, this musical genius, just going up and up and up and up, and then the crash and the burnout, and then media just does not help. Media is the worst thing possible for anybody going through something like that. Not only are they there for your highs and they're there to elevate you, but then they will tear you down so fast. And then you have the media fueling fans with this vitriol for Jane and this love of Elijah. They refuse to believe that Jane wrote any of the songs. They refuse to believe she contributed unless it was to his addiction. When you read the story, you realize he had problems long before Jane even came into the picture. And that reminds me of Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown got blamed for a lot of Whitney's problems, but if you ever read anything about Whitney Houston, you realize Whitney Houston had issues way before she met Bobby Brown. So this book is just an interesting take on the way we look at rock and roll and media, and the way the media plays into it, and real love to the point where it can be something that brings you up and something that tears you back down. Because together at a certain point, these two were the worst people for each other. Musically, they were great. They were truly in love. But when it became about drugs and about business, they were horrible for each other. And you kind of see how that affects them, and you see how it affects their music. Sorry, I thought I put my chime off, but I didn't on my laptop. I'm sorry if you guys heard that. But I actually love the way this book was written, and the fact that it wasn't written linearly was actually great, because you got to learn about them as a couple, and then you got to find a piece of the puzzle. And you're like, wow, okay, now that's what that comic strip means now. I get it. And you got to see what Jane decided to keep to herself, because she was connecting with but then she was like, look, I got to keep something for myself here, because if I don't keep something to myself, I'm going to be a victim of the fans. And there's no way other to describe it other than you being a victim to your fans. You can give too much to people who don't know you really. You can be a fan of someone and still not know them as a human being. You love them for their art. And then it comes the question of, can you separate the art from the artist? When that artist does something that you're like, okay, I can look past it, I'm still gonna be a fan. And then sometimes you're like, no, I can't look past it. They're an awful person. And so Jane is trying to make sure she keeps fan at a distance to keep something for herself. Even when Elijah died, she said, leave me alone. Let me grieve by myself. He was mine. You guys had him as fans for 2-3 years. Let me have him to myself again. Let me grieve alone. Leave me alone. And I think this book speaks for all of those artists who went up so fast and came down so hard, and fans hating them and loving them and picking sides. And it speaks for every single artist who have been through that. And you read it and you're like, crap, am I guilty of being that fan? Like, am I that horrible that I don't see past the nonsense and the media crap and all that other stuff, that I can't see that person for who they truly are, and that they are hurting, or this may not be their fault, and they're just being blamed because we're trying to put the blame on someone else to make another person look better. They want to make Elijah look better because he's the singer, he's the leader, whatever. But so anytime he did anything wrong, it was automatically her fault. And think, oh, that can happen. Look at Ariana Grande and Mac 10. They had been broken up for almost over a year. He dies of a drug overdose, and people blamed her. Like, huh? No, they ain't together no more. She ain't responsible for him. You are not responsible for someone else. And that is one thing that stuck out to me in this book is when Jane is talking to another artist, they say to her, "You cannot save him. He has to save himself." And if you ever dealt with someone with addiction, you know that that is true. There is nothing you can do to fix that person. They have to fix themselves. They have to want it for themselves. You can love them all you want, but you're going to end up loving them to death. So I thought this book was amazing. I'm sorry it took me so long to get through it. That is not the author's fault. That is a personal life fault. I have a lot going on right now, but all in all, I will say I give this book an A. I was thoroughly entertained, even though I'm not the biggest rock fan. Some of the rock references did go over my head because, like I said, I'm more into mainstream rock, the little bit that I listen to. But even though I'm not a rock fan, I can still apply it to R&B and hip hop and soul music and the Motown stuff that I grew up with. I see the parallels in it. Music is music at the end of the day. So with this book, you got the graffiti art, you got the bookmarker, the sticker, the nameplate, the wireless headphones, the makeup bag with the lipstick that is still on that I'm still wearing. And you got the message in a bottle. I'm trying to find it, guys. I'm so sorry. And the message in a bottle. So, message in a bottle, lipstick, makeup bag, headphones, book, your sticker, your nameplate, your bookmarker, and the recipe for the eclairs, which I will scan in. So that is the review of everything in the book. And like I said, my life has just been crazy with the new job, studying for my AWS Solutions Architect Pro, and reading the book. I had to get a better understanding of my time management. I try to do things normally while watching TV during commercial breaks, and I couldn't do that anymore. So I turned off the TV and I made myself a schedule, an hour for each thing. I gave myself an hour to study for my new job, an hour to read the book, and then an hour to study for my exam. And I gave myself 10-minute breaks in between to kind of get around, get some blood circulating, get away from the laptop for a second. In 10 minutes, I would like get a snack, use the restroom, take a load out of the washer and put it into the dryer, talk on the phone to somebody, anything else for 10 minutes to get away from my laptop. And so I've been doing that every day now for a week, and I was able to finish the book in a process of 7 hours, broken up into an hour each. I was able to get some good studying done for work and for my exam. And so now with better time management, I can handle this a lot better now. And also, as you guys know, as I think I said it before, I write a movie review blog for not only movies in theaters, but for TV movies. And if you are a Hallmark watcher or a Lifetime watcher, you know the amount of movies they put out around this time of the year. Hallmark themselves puts out 3 Christmas movies on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then on Friday, the Hallmark Mystery Channel puts out their own movie. So that's 4 movies from 2 different channels, both Hallmark. Then Lifetime. Lifetime puts on an average about 2 movies a week for the holidays. They have slowed down. But then the Lifetime Movie Network, which is a whole other channel, puts out 1 movie a week for Hateful and Grateful, Sleigh Bells, and Shocktober. So they have movies coming out, and then you have Ion and Up TV. Up TV has about 15 new movies this holiday season, and then Ion will come out with like 5 or 6. Last year they didn't come out with any, but this year I think they're gonna come out with some more. Then MTV will at least put out 1 Christmas movie. VH1 will put out 1 to 2 Christmas movies, and then BET has some on BET Plus. So I have to watch all these movies, write the reviews, put the reviews through Grammarly to get any grammar mistakes. Then I proofread them. and then I shorten them, and then I put them into my Alexa skill, the shortened versions, and then I listen to them in Alexa skill, because sometimes the Alexa skill pick up on things that Grammarly and my proofreading misses. So I listen to her tell me what she's reading and listening to it, and that's when I pick up on other mistakes. What I like when I write apologies instead of apologize, or when I write win instead of with, or vice versa. So I'm trying to get a better handle on my time management. So number one, I turned off the TV. Number two, I scheduled everything. So like I said, an hour for my work, studying for my job, my new job, an hour for reading the book, lightning bottles, then an hour for studying for my AWS exam, and then I repeated that with 10-minute breaks between each hour, and then I stop around 5 o'clock, and then that'll give me time to actually work on my blog site. And on top of all this, I'm also helping my sister plan her wedding. And then I'm planning my schedule for AWS reInvent in Las Vegas in December 2nd. So I'll be glad when all this is done. But then right after that, right after I come back from Vegas, I had to start studying even more for the exam. But hopefully I'll be on my job by then, and I kind of have a handle on what I'm doing. So it's just a lot that I piled on myself, but we'll see. The next book is coming. I don't know the book yet. They give you hints, and they give you the option to see the book ahead of time. I didn't want to see it. I always like to be surprised. So when that book comes, I will get through that. I will hop back on my schedule again, read through that book. Hopefully I can get it done lickety split, and I can give you guys my honest review on that. So like I said, the lightning bottles, I give it an A. I recommend it for anybody who's ever been a fan of any genre of music. Read it, love it, fall for it, and read it again, because I'm definitely, it's the fact that it was a mystery wrapped around music. I thought that was actually pretty cool. So with that said, in life there's black and white, but with this girl right here, you get a nice sparkly shade of gray. Well, really gold, rose gold, but y'all know this is shades of gray. All right, guys, bye.